Buckle up. This isn't your average courtroom drama. We're opening with race, trauma, and a defendant who's not holding back. You're not just watching a hearing. You're stepping into a storm.
Information. The complainant stated that she was driving southbound on the East Sam Houston Parkway, and the defendant failed to drive in her lane and sideswiped her, causing the vehicle damage to the right side panel of the defendant's vehicle. The complainant stated that she blew her horn several times for the defendant to stop, and the defendant refused. The complainant followed for approximately 3 miles to 15242 Wallsville Road, and the complainant and the defendant exited their vehicle, and the complainant told the defendant that she hit her vehicle and needed insurance information. The defendant then told the complainant no, and that she was getting something to eat. The defendant went inside the business, exited, and then entered her vehicle and attempted to drive away. The complainant blew.
Let's break it down. FSGI, failure to stop and give information. Sounds simple, right? But in Texas, it's criminal, especially when it's allegedly done twice. The law isn't kind to repeat patterns, even if the reasons are complicated.
Her horn several times to get the defendant to stop and told her the police were coming, but the defendant ignored the complainant. The defendant then began to put her vehicle in reverse and proceed backwards, hitting the complainant's vehicle a second time. The complainant.
So are you telling me now it was intentional?
Sure. The complainant moved her vehicle to avoid being hit and followed the defendant. The complainant flagged the police down to identify the defendant as the person who struck her vehicle. The estimated damage from the complainant was around $4,000, and the defendant stated she didn't stop because she was hungry and colored.
And what?
Colored.
Colored?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you look up to see if she has a valid Texas driver license?
Yes.
Ms. Gill, I'm going to find that there is sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Not only are you on a felony probation for assault of a peace officer, not only are you on.
Now here's where it hits hard. She claims hunger and race made her flee. This isn't just a statement, it's a flashpoint. So you tell me, personal survival or legal evasion? Let's hear your take in the comments.
On felony probation for injury to a child under 15, but you pick up, after both of those, an evading arrest in a motor vehicle, and now an FSGI. I am taking away your privilege to drive. You will now be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is. If I find that you drive in violation of this affidavit, I will have a contempt. I can have a contempt hearing. I can have a contempt. After. Finish.
I'm so sorry.
Finish.
I'm a commercial driver.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You, if you do have a CDL,
Sorry, that is correct. She does have a valid CDL.
are held to an even higher standard because of that CDL. You now have a total of 4 open cases, one of those being this FSGI and an evading arrest in a motor vehicle. I am taking away your privilege to drive. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. I truly am at a loss with the attitude.
Okay.
Truly.
Okay.
In this case here, not only do we have an FSGI, but it's also alleged that you backed up and hit the person intentionally. Because allegedly hungry and covered. So now, this is an affidavit, and I hope that you take it seriously. Because if you don't, there will truly
This moment? It's more than a revocation of driving rights. It's the justice system drawing a line. And for someone with a CDL, that's not just personal, that's livelihood. High stakes. Zero margin for error.
be disastrous consequences. Ms. Gill, I want you to understand that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my public at all costs. Do you understand?
I understand you, Your Honor.
May I make argument for a PR bond, Your Honor? She's made a bond in the felony already. And even with the affidavit to not drive, I expressed to her that that was a possibility of a bond condition. I've spoken with her. She has family members who can help her get to and from court. She's a single mother of 2 children. She has lived at this address here in Houston for the past 5 years. She lives with her mother. She lives with her younger brother. Has lived in Harris County her entire life. And she has, in these felonies, she's actually applied to be put in mental health court because during this incident and the felonies, she was unmedicated and she has a history of mental health diagnoses. And so as a client of the Harris County Public Defender's Office, we have every intention of getting her treatment for those mental health issues. But she's already made a bond in the felony, and she is willing to abide by any condition that this court will impose on her. It's down to the difference between $0 and $100. And
So I appreciate your argument. She's technically, you are right on bond. My feeling is that these felony courts probably do not know that she has now picked up this case yet. So I don't know what, if anything, they're going to do when they do discover this. I find, Ms. Goucher, right? Is that what, Ms. Goucher? I really appreciate your argument going to bat for her, but I think with her demeanor, her attitude, her reckless and wanton action on the road, is that you are a danger to the public, and your bond is now set at 1,000, and I'm going to raise it to 5 because I think that you really are a danger to the public, and your attitude shows us and tells me that, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do, and that's it.
Raw
And
emotion,
it's-
right here. Trauma, systemic failure, and a mother at the edge. This is where courtroom law crashes into real life. But here's the million-dollar question. How much should a person's past pain affect their present accountability?
That's it. And that's always really.
don't say anything.
How many people died this weekend on the road because of the reckless and wanton actions? You know, all we want are our streets to be safe.
Helping me, You're not helping me. I'm struggling. I'm a single mom. And I've been struggling with the courts for years already. And I'm tired of this. Okay. I was beat. Okay. In front of my children. I was thrown on the ground like an animal. Okay. And I'm tired of all of this. Okay. In front of my children. My children have trauma. Okay. And I have no insurance for the medication. And I have not been on the medication. I'm trying to get insurance to get on the medication. Okay.
I understand, but at some point, your actions become your own, right?
Understand. I'm colored. You don't understand me. You don't understand me. If I was a different color, you would. It's true.
That's
So
so
true. And you know what I'm talking about.
I call out discrimination when I see it on a daily basis, man. I don't care who it is. I don't care what color. Small farm animal. I don't care. I call it when I see it. The only thing, because I don't know the way I get to know is paper. And they tell me what happens in the case. And from what I see here, and what has transpired here within the last 10 minutes, Really?
Officer Harris did not read me my rights.
Well, I will let,
They've
I
been
will let,
mishandling me like this for years already. Okay? I have the right to tell you this. And I'm telling you, she did not read me my rights. She just shoved me behind the officer car. I did not get a voice to speak out anything. She just dropped me to jail.
you guys speak about that. I'll tell you, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave your bond at $1,000 now. All right? I'm not gonna raise the five. But I can't continue to give you a PR.
Employment too.
Listen.
Okay.
Do not drive. It's the only thing I'm asking you to do. Don't pick up a new case.
Yes, sir.
And just, all right. Come on.